Hi everyone, Jeffy here, and today we're doing something a little bit different. We're going to be looking at a cryptic crossword from about 3 years ago. Now, if you're wondering what's happening with Around the World in Many Days, which is the ongoing geography series, I've had some hiccups filming the next part, which is number 27, and so we're doing this in the meantime. The next one should come out sometime next week, but I've had to start over a couple of times. It's really frustrating. A lot of like negative energy I don't need. And I thought, like, how do I get rid of that? Well, why don't I show you guys something that I'm really proud of? And which brings us to this puzzle. So this one is called Suspected Felicide in the Schrödinger Household, and it's the best crossword I've ever made. So let's see how this one works. There's a bit of a longer preamble here. Let's read that first. So, police officers entered the home of Dr. Erwin Schrödinger. The neighbors had reported that the doctor had locked his cat in a box and was subjecting it to particle physics, whatever horrors that may mean. As there were lives at stake, 9 potentially, the department had obtained a speedy search warrant and officers had rushed to the scene, sirens blaring. Dr. Schrödinger was shocked to see officers of the law barging into his house. The box was located in no time. It was placed in plain sight. Prepared for the worst, they opened it. That's the story part here. And now onto the rules. So, down clues are presented in no particular order and are not numbered. Solvers must choose one of the given clues for each down entry, noting that the same clue may be used multiple times. Word lengths have been omitted to avoid showing which clues correspond to which entries. Instead, the enumerations indicate whether the clues have one-word answers, two-word answers, or both. Let me just show you that. So cross clues look normal here, and then we have down clues which are just A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. So not numbered, and we have to pick which of these corresponds to which down entry. Furthermore, 10 across clues can be solved in 2 ways, one of which results in an answer containing 1 extra letter. Find the position of the first instance of that extra letter in the clue and select the letter in the same position when counted from the end of the clue backwards. Now, this we're going to, and there's an example of how to do that, selecting letters once you have the finished grid. Let's just read this part once more when we get to the end, when we have a finished grid, to see what the final answer is there. But the letters so selected in clue order reveal what the police discovered in the box in Dr. Schrödinger's house. So that is the preamble here. Those are the rules. And I'm going to open it. I have the clues written separately here, and I'm going to open the grid separately here. But worth having a think about, since we have sort of weird rules, maybe first it's worth to think about where is the best place to start here. So across clues are normal, and down clues, we don't know where they go. So even if we solve this one, we don't know where it goes in the grid without help from the across clues. So it's pretty clear that we should start with the across clues, solve as many as we can, and then when we have these checking letters, we can place some down answers in the grid. So let's start with solving down clues, solving across clues. Now, the thing to remember is some of these will have 2 answers, and one of them has that extra letter. I'm going to keep track of those as well in the grid. But let's start with the first across clue here, across number 1. Assignment: getting a biblical gent, 3 letters. Now, there's a clear indicator word here, which is getting. Something is getting inside it, a letter A. So take a word for assignment, put an A inside, and you get a biblical gent, a man from the Bible. Now, a job is an assignment, and if you put A inside the word job, you get Joab, who is a man from the Bible. Now, that's 4 letters. So that's going to be our answer with an extra letter here. So how do we get a 3-letter answer from that? Now remember, that has to be Job with one letter removed. It can't be a completely different word. And the answer is this can be interpreted also as a double definition. So a job is an assignment, and Job, spelled J-O-B, is a biblical gent. And so if you do this, you take a word for assignment, you're also getting a word that means a biblical gent. So this is just a connector between these two definitions. So job or Job, however you want to pronounce it, is the answer that we need in the grid here. So why do I have red here? Sorry about that. Actually, let's use blue here. I don't like red somehow. J-O-B. Now, as I said, we need to keep track of the extra letters as well. So I'm going to put the A between here so that we remember that. Remember to which answers had the extra letter. But this was one of the answers. Job is the answer we need in the grid, but there was an extra letter answer as well. So that's why I'm keeping track of those as well. Okay, so normally in a normal crossword we would be looking at these answers next because we have starting letters. But here we can't really use these because we don't know which down clue these correspond to. So we're going to come back once we have a lot of these checking letters. And a word about difficulty, by the way. So as you can see, you don't get that much help from the grid. So it's a little bit more difficult than a normal crossword. And if you're used to the ones we've been doing in the series in around the world in many days, this might be a little bit harder. It wasn't something that that I tried to make really hard, but it's also not something that I've sort of been restraining myself to not make hard clues here. So this should be about medium difficulty, whereas the around the world crosswords have been maybe on the easier side. But yeah, let's continue. So we are going to go through all of these acrosses first. And 3 across. Fateful entrance at a hotel party. And this is going to be the name of a party, and not like a celebration, but a political party. So entrance, the entrance of a word is the first letter, so the entering letter, the F here, so sort of the front letter. That's the F here. So fateful entrance clues F, ada, and then we have hotel. Now an abbreviation for hotel is H. If we put all of those together, F, at, A, and H, we get Fata, which is a political party. Like that. And that's the only answer for 3 across. Then let's look at 6 across. Impromptu sailing vessel almost drowned in current. Something drowned in can be inside the other thing. Almost is pretty often it pretty often means take the last letter out. So spell the word almost entirely. So we take a word for sailing vessel and we take the last letter out. And current, there are a couple of abbreviations for current. I is one from physics, and the others are AC and DC, alternating current and direct current. Here we need AC. So something is inside AC. And we need a phrase that's 2 letters and 3 letters. If we put AC here, the answer is going to be ad hoc, which means impromptu from Latin. And we need a word for a sailing vessel. And we need inside here, and we need to remove its last letter. Now, a dhow, D-H-O-W, is a sailing vessel. And we remove the W, we get D-H-O. Put that inside AC, we get ad hoc, impromptu. Then let's look at this one, 9 across. Lara 4 down scored number 2 spots spinning frequently. Now this we cannot do. We don't know what 4 down is. So we're going to have to leave this empty and come back to it once we have some idea of this 4 down. Let's look at 10 then. You fools, shouted to Henry and Pascal, perhaps. Now Henry, if you see Henry in a cryptic crossword, often it's H, and the reason why it can be H is Henry is a unit of in the metric system, and its abbreviation is H. Pascal is also a unit, and its abbreviation is PA. But we don't need H and we don't need PA here. We need the fact that these are units. So Henry and Pascal are examples of units. Now units is 5 letters. And a nit is a fool. So you fools would be units. And if you shout that, if you express that, orally, it sounds exactly the same as the word units. And that's a homophone of this word then. And that was 10 across. Let's look at 11. In the protection of historic empire, it's sometimes black. Usually, though, it's not. Now this one, it's pretty long for 3 letters, and there's a reason why. But in the protection of something would be inside. Long way to say something is inside the other thing. Now, any word meaning inside can indicate 2 things in cryptics. We see in ad hoc, we saw something being surrounded by another thing, but it can also mean a hidden word indicator. And if we look inside the words historic empire, we see I, C, and E, the word ice. And the definition then would be, it's sometimes black, usually though it's not. Now there's a thing called black ice, that's like ice on the road that you can't see, but most ice isn't black ice. So that's how the definition makes sense. Now what doesn't make sense is why you would define ice like that. But it is going to be the correct answer. And the reason why that's a weird, why it's defined in such a weird way, the reason is that there's another answer here, which is ice with 1 extra letter. And that is going to have the same wordplay. So it's still in the protection of, this is the hidden word indicator, is still a hidden word inside these words, historic empire. And it's going to be RICE, rice. Now there is black rice, that is a thing that you can eat, but most rice isn't black rice. So that's how the definition makes sense for rice. So that means that we have actually an extra letter here, and I'm going to mark it. Mark it here between these 2 cells. So ice and rice, both hidden words inside the words historic empire. Let's continue. 12 across. Patriarch's 5th, convoying extremists in Libertine capital in Yashi. Now, that's a weird sentence. And Yashi is a city in Romania, this one. So that would mean in Yashi would mean that we need something that's something that's happening in Romania, something that is in Romania. Now, if it was like in Paris, it might be a French word, but there aren't many Romanian words that are common knowledge for English speakers. So in Yashi is not going to be an indicator of that. But capital in Yashi, capital, you own capital, you own money. So money in Yashi would be the currency of Romania. Now, the currency is the Romanian leu, Romanian leu, LEU, which would fit here. That's 3 letters, LEU, and that's one leu, and then the plural is lei, LEI. Both would work here. So let's see what the wordplay gives then. Both would fit this definition, leu or ole. So patriarch's fifth would be this I here, the fifth letter of the word patriarch. That is convoying, that is following. Extremists in libertine. So if we take the extreme letters of the word libertine, L and E, we get LE. And LEI is then spelled out by this wordplay. Patriarch's fifth will be this I here. LE followed by the I. Now we have to be careful here because we might just continue onwards here, but actually we need to keep looking at this clue because there is another solution here that's maybe harder to see. And the reason it's maybe harder to see here is that the definition is completely different. In these previous ones, we had biblical gent or a biblical gent being the definition both times. And here we saw this weird phrase being the definition both times. But here we have a second solution here with the definition patriarch. And how does that work? So fifth would be the Roman numeral for 5. Like if you have George the Fifth, that would be George V. Was there a George the Fifth? Anyway, V can be fifth. And that is convoying, that is still behind extremist in libertine, LE. So that's LEV now. Now, what's capital in Yashi? It's not going to be the currency now. It's going to be the capital letter in the word Yashi, which is this I here. So LEV followed by I is Levi, and that is the name of a patriarch. Levi. So V would be the extra letter here. Now, let's see. 13 across. Winding up of filming, in addition, hip-hop music. In addition, if you see this, it almost always means take a homophone of a word. Now, hip-hop music could be rap, R-A-P, and winding up of filming is also rap, but that's spelled W-R-A-P. And we need a 3-letter word, so rap with R-A-P is going to be our answer here. But if we didn't need 3 letters, if we needed 4 letters, rap with a W would also be a valid answer for this clue. So in fact, this one has a second, because in addition can apply to either side of the indicator. Not all indicators can, but in addition definitely can. Winding up of filming in addition can mean like something that sounds like the word rap with a W. But also this can be the wordplay. In addition, hip-hop music, something that sounds like rap is rap with a W. So all that means that rap with a W is also a valid answer here. So I'm going to mark this. And remember the preamble said that we need 10 of these extra letters. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4 now. Then we have number 14. Position of opportunity to turn in rebel leader. Now this is to turn or turn, I guess, is an indicator meaning just to turn write a word backwards to turn it. You turn in, you get NI. And then you need a 3-letter word for a rebel leader, which when you put NI before it, you would get a position of opportunity. And the rebel leader, which is always is Che here, Che Guevara. appears all the time in crosswords because, I mean, look at these letters, they're so useful. And a niche is a position of opportunity. So that's how 14 works. That's the only answer there. Then we have 17. Let's see. Solar system's component is without resistance, female caretakers. Now, solar system's component could be a planet, could be sun. Sun is 3 letters, but it could be the name of a planet as well. Without resistance. Now, in physics, resistance is abbreviated R, and female caretakers would be mothers. Now, mother is in crosswords is often ma, M-A. Mothers, plural would be mas, M-A-S. Now, that is 3 letters, and that's going to be our answer here. Mas, female caretakers. This is the definition. So we need a solar system's component, which is Mars, M-A-R-S, the planet Mars, and that is without resistance. That has lost the letter R for resistance. So that makes MAS, Mars. Now, careful again here. This can be read in another way, which is almost identical wordplay, but in the other direction. So it can also be definition here, solar system's component, the answer being Mars, M-A-R-S. And how does that work? That's the connector. So the wordplay is here. Without resistance, female caretakers. And without now is a weird word because something is without something. It can mean, it has a meaning in the dictionary without being on the outside of something. So if you interpret it that way, without, on the outside of the R for resistance, you get the word Mars again. And that spells out MARS. So MARS is a valid solution for this clue as well. And maybe it would be better to use a different color for these, but I don't want to keep scrolling up for the color tool here. I think we can keep track of what these extra letters are. Let's look at 18. Maybe Stuart and Four Down backed Arab country having lost one man. Now 4 down again. We had 4 down in the other one that we couldn't do 9. 9 here needs 4 down, and this one needs 4 down. And 4 down, we have all the crossing letters. So we could start looking at that, but I want to maybe go through all these crosses that we can first. So we're going to skip 18 because we can't do it. We're going to go into 19. So rings shown all around the bounds of Seoul, a former Olympic host city. We're going to need the name of a former Olympic host city. That's 4 letters long. And the bounds of Seoul are the bounding letter, the first and last letter, the extreme letters here of Seoul. So SL. Around those we get rings. Now, what does a ring look like? If you could put a character in the grid that looks like a ring, that would be an O. If you put O's on both sides of SL, that spells out Oslo, which was an Olympic host at one point. Oslo is the answer here. Let's continue. 21 across. A couple of imbeciles broke sofa. This is pretty simple. So broke. If something's been broken, it is in pieces. It is mixed up. So anagram sofa. Break the word sofa and build another word, which means a couple of imbeciles. Now, if we put the letters in sofa in a different order, we could get oafs, which means imbeciles. Now, let's do 23 then. Secret place to hide stuff. Tree at the end of street. This is going to be the definition here. Secret place to hide stuff. We need a word for tree, a short word for tree, and we put that at the end of, we put that after ST for street. ST is very common abbreviation for street. And an ash is a tree. An ash is a tree, and a stash is a secret place to hide stuff. So that was very straightforward as well. Then we have 24, 3 letters. Prog rock chanter Anderson overheard the Beatles member. Now, prog rock chanter Anderson, this is going to be John, Jon, John Anderson, being the lead singer of the band Yes. And that's going to be our definition here, and John being the answer, Jon. And that is overheard. If you overhear the name of one of the Beatles members, that sounds like John, Jon, and that would be John, John, John Lennon, right? So Jon is a homophone of that. It's not the first time I said anagram when I meant homophone, but homophone of John, John, is John, Jon. Now, again, like in the previous one, homophone one, this also works in 2 directions. So this can be overheard. Overheard John, John. This could be the wordplay. But if we had a 4-letter answer, this could be the wordplay. Prog rock chanter Anderson overheard. That's completely valid. And that would give us a 4-letter answer with a H. So that is another answer. And we put the H in the middle there. Scroll down here. That's about right. So we have 26. Standing in front of wretch, regardless of the odds, no point. Regardless of the odds is not referring to gambling here or chance or anything like that. The odds of a word are the odd numbered letters, the first, third, and fifth, and so forth. So if we took the word wretch and we look at it regardless of the odds, we don't take the odd numbered letters, we only look at the even numbered letters. That would be R, T, and H. And standing in front of all that would be NO, no. That would spell out north. And north is a point, as in a point of the compass. So no in front of RTH. And that's the only answer as well here. So 28. Take a roll leading, smear with sticky, oily substance. Sticky, oily substance is tar, T-A-R, and tar can also be smear with sticky, oily substance to tar someone. So all of this could be the definition. Now, why does take a roll leading mean? Why does that wordplay give us tar? Well, the leading letters of take a roll just spell out tar, T-A-R. So we take the leading letters of those words and we get tar. But that is not all. So we have another answer here, and that other answer does not mean sticky oily substance. It means take a roll leading. Take a roll. So we take leading smear. So we take the leading letter of the word smear, which would be this S here, and then sticky oily substance again is tar. So S with tar spells out star, and if you star in something, you take a role in it. You play a part, you act in something. So star is another solution to this clue. And now how many extra letters do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So we need 3 more. And note that all of these have been in 3-letter answers. And we have three more 3-letter answers. So that's pretty suspicious, isn't it? Let's look at 28. So this could have 2 answers then if these are all the 3-letter answers that are. It wasn't spelled out in the preamble that they would be, but it's possible still. 29. Oscars held hostage by the man producing a tool with gardening use. Now, Oscar is the international radio alphabet code for the letter O. So if O is held hostage, it is contained in the man. So the man is the pronoun he. He was there. The man was there. So O inside he gives hoe, which is a tool with gardening use. And there's another way of reading this, and that is Oscars, like this apostrophe S, can be part of this indicator, right? Something is held hostage by. All of this was the indicator. But we could have just this as the indicator, held hostage by, and the apostrophe S would be then O apostrophe S. Oscars would be the O apostrophe S. So OS, held by he, again, would give us hose, and a hose is also a tool with gardening use. So hose is the second answer here. So this is our 8th extra letter now. So we need 2 more. 31, let's see this one. So a little Bacardi's Howard's portion. Now we have 2 potential indicators here. A little can be the first letter of Bacardi, just a little bit of the word Bacardi. It can also be sort of hidden word indicator. A little of these words would give a word for portion. Similarly, the word portion can also be a hidden word indicator. So a portion of these words could mean a little. And in fact, here we need both. So a little of this, if we take a little bit of these words, we get dish, and a dish is a portion. So that's the extra letter one. And the other way around, if we look at a portion of these words, we can find inside it ish. And if something is greenish, it's a little green. So ish means green. So ish means a little, is what I wanted to say. So ish is going to be the answer we need, and then the D for dish is going to be the extra letter here. And so that's the 9th extra letter. We need 1 more. So 32. Capitals cover up in replacing article. And now this is maybe harder than some of the previous ones. We need we're going to the answer is going to be the name of a capital. So we need a word for cover. Sorry, a word for cover up. And then we replace the article in that word with in. And how that works is we take the word, you cover up something, you mask it, M-A-S-K. We take the article out. Now the indefinite article here is a. So we take that out and we replace it with in, and we get the name of a capital, Minsk. Then we look at 33. Child working for Mossad department. Now this, on the other hand, is very straightforward. Just find a short word for child and a short word meaning working. A Mossad department is kidon. So a kid is a child and something's working, it's on. 3 across clues left, so let's see. And then we get to the interesting stuff, right? So 34. Remember, we still need one extra letter here. Woman from America surrounded by poles. Now, I think I've mentioned this a couple of times. If you see the word poles, especially if it's with a capital letter, and if it's in a surface reading that sounds like it's poles, as in people from Poland, you can guarantee it's going to be the North and South Pole in the cryptic reading in the wordplay. So poles would be NS. America, USA. So USA surrounded by SN would be Susan, which is a woman's name. SUSAN. So that's 34. Then we have 35. 10 with a single attempt. Now, 1 is this one here, can be I from the Roman numerals. And if you have 0 of something, you have none. If you put I and none together, we get in 1 with a single attempt. And now we have only one clue left and we still need an extra letter. So it's going to be this one. A long time hiding last of elitist college in Berkshire. Now, a long time is going to be the word. It has a couple of good synonyms, good short synonyms. An era is a long time. Here we need eon, E-O-N. So that's going to be our answer here, and that is this is the definition then, a long time. Now that is hiding. There's two ways of reading this. Hiding, you hide something from another word. So we need college in Berkshire, which is going to be Eton, E-T-O-N. We hide the last letter of elitist, this T here, and we get the word eon. So that's the one we want, the 3-letter one. But we can also read that as eon hiding, eon containing the T from last of elitist, and then college in Berkshire would be the definition then, giving Eton with the T as the extra letter. So that is the acrosses done, at least the ones that we can do without solving the down clues. Now we get to the good stuff. So now we get to solve clues and not have any idea where they go in the grid. But we can get some help from the grid, so we can sort of see what kinds of words, like look at this word. There's not many words. There aren't many words that fit here, for example. So we can already sort of look at what kinds of words we might be looking for. But let's look at the first down clue. Now these are again going to be clues that have potentially multiple answers. Start with this A here. So we're going to need a one-word answer here. We don't know the lengths. Extremities, one left and one right below female chin, question mark. Funny term for birds. Now, we're going to need a term for birds, and that is, if I see bird in a crossword, I'm always worried because there are so many names for birds. But let's see. Extremities is a, like we saw in one of the acrosses, extremities can be the first and last letter. It's not in this case, in any of these cases, but it could be. One left and one right can mean the similar thing. So we can take one leftmost letter and rightmost letter of the word extremities. Now that's going to be relevant here. So it's going to be term for birds. It's going to be the definition here, the first definition that we need. We're going to have one left and one right from the word extremities. So we have E and S. That is below something. Now remember, we are looking at down clues here. So below can mean after the other thing. So ES is at the end. And then the female can be F, just an abbreviation for female, and then chin, funny. Now, funny, in addition to being like humorous, it can mean like weird. So, funny is a valid anagram indicator. You spell chin in a funny way. You anagram the word chin. So, F plus an anagram of chin plus ES, making a term for birds. And that's going to give us finches. That is our first across answer, and we can look at where it might go in the grid. So here is an F that works. I'm actually changing the tool here because I don't need the extra letters anymore. Scroll back. Okay, so here is the F for finches. So INCHES. Finches. So these ES come from the extremities of first and last letter of extremities. Then that is below F for female, and then these letters are the anagram of chin. And that's the first solution for this clue. Now this one has two more, and those two more are, believe it or not, double definitions. With all those words, double definitions. So one definition is going to be here, funny term for birds. And then this monstrosity is going to be another definition. So what are extremities? One left and one right, below female chin. No, that would hint at breasts below female chin. And so we need a word that means breasts but also means birds. Now there are two words like that. And one of them, a booby, is a bird. So boobies would mean two things, both of those things. And it is a funny term for birds. I don't care what you say, it is a funny term. So boobies would fit here with this B. And there's another word that works exactly the same. So those two definitions, and that is the tit. The tit is a bird, so tits would mean those two things as well. And that is going to be in a 4-letter spot, which is going to be here. So tits also fits. And yeah, those are the three solutions for this A clue here. So we haven't still solved this 4, which is what we need for this remaining acrosses. But let's go forward here. So this is a long one. This B down. Future millionaire ? Bank's fortune ultimately having become central in Testament and primarily humorous animated series. Now that, you might say, is quite a lot of words. We need a one-word answer. And I'm debating which one is the easiest to explain, but animated series is going to be a definition here. So we need just the word future with no modification. Then we need millionaire banks. Now the banks of a river are its sides. So in cryptic world, as opposed to the normal world, banks can mean, the banks of a word can mean the two sides of a word. So millionaire banks can mean M and E. So this would spell out future me. And then fortune ultimately, this E, this ultimate letter, this last letter of the word fortune, having become the central letter. A central in Testament is central letter of the word Testament, which is A. If we take future me, which was this part, and replace the E's with A's, we get Futurama, and that is actually, this is part of the definition as well. Primarily humorous animated series. That's all of that is the definition for Futurama. So that seems to fit here, which would give some letters for these acrosses that we need. And yeah, that is the only place where Futurama fits. Now, the other way of reading this this B clue is going to be the wordplay being here, believe it or not. And I mean, you might think, what on earth can this all? Future millionaire, question mark, bank's fortune, ultimately having become central in testament. What on earth can that define? And that's a valid question. But let's see. Primarily humorous would be H. And then animated, if you animate the words series, you anagram the word series, you would get the word, where does it fit? The word eras. Here it is. H is the primarily humorous, and then an anagram of series is this string of letters here. And an heiress might be someone about to become a millionaire, and they might be someone who is central in a testament. So that's how that kind of works. So heiress and Futurama were the solutions for this B. Now I think that's all. Yeah, that's only two solutions here. Let's look at C then. Also one word answers. So king in Ecuador's capital during the Common Era to get one respected Native American tribe. Now, here we need the names of Native American tribes. One is going to fit here, and that's maybe the easiest one. So Common Era, in dates you might see CE as the Common Era. So CE is going to be here. Inside that, during it, inside it, is king in, no, sorry. First we need Ecuador's capital during the Common Era. So E, the capital letter of Ecuador, inside the Common Era. So this is the CEE here. And then an abbreviation for king is inside that. So king can be abbreviated R from Latin rex. So R here. And that is one respected Native American tribe, question mark, is Cree. Now, you might think, why do you need this part here? Why can't you put just get Native American tribe? And that is because we need it for another parsing here. So CE is still going to be Common Era. Ecuador's capital is still going to be E. So we still need CEE. And it's going to be this 20 down here. So we need CEE. And we put inside that one respected would be a hero. A hero is someone you respect. And then, so that's C hero EE. And inside that we have king. Now in chess, king is abbreviated K. So that's why K can be a king. So Cherokee is Native American tribe. This time, just this as the definition. And yeah, that's the two solutions for C. Now let's look at D. South Armagnac's borders enclosed by beer and wine region in eastern France. Now borders again, like we saw a couple of times, extremities and whatnot, and bounds and banks, and now we have borders. So Armagnac's borders are this A and C. South can be abbreviated S, very common for the compass points to have to be one abbreviated as one letter. So that would be SAC, and that is enclosed by beer. Now, a very common word in crosswords for beer is ale. If we enclose SAC in the word ale, we get, where does it go? Here. So we put ALE, take ALE and put SAC for South Armagnac's borders. Inside it, we get Alsace, which is a wine region in eastern France. And this is actually the only answer for this clue. So we don't have a second answer for this one. So we're going to go to E then. Now this is one or two words. So storm center is coming in, Han. K. It regularly devastated a city in Asia's east. Now, the fact that this is not OK, but K is obviously going to be important. The way K is spelled just like that is the name for the letter K, so that could be just K. But actually, this is a type of clue that you don't see that often. Not because there's anything wrong with it, just you generally don't need to use it as a setter because and that is I should say it's the word regularly. You take regular letters, every other letter of this string, K it, 8 letters. So take the 4 letters, either the odd numbered letters or even numbered letters. That is devastated. That is anagrammed. That is mixed up. So if you destroy something, you break something, that means you mix it up in cryptic terms. So regularly devastated means take regular letters and then anagram them. Now the reason you don't usually see this is you have so many sort of degrees of freedom putting regular letters into a string that you can just put them in the right order in the first place. You don't have to anagram them. But here, since we're looking for several answers, we're going to have to do some anagramming as well. So the answer is going to be a city in Asia's east. Now, what's Storm Center doing then? Storm Center is going to be the central letter of the words O. So that is inside these 4 letters anagrammed. So either, let's see, I, H, N, sorry, not this in part, these letters. So let's look at the odd numbered letters first. H, N, A, and I. H and A, I, anagrammed with an O inside it. Now we looked at this briefly, like I pointed out that there aren't many words that fit here. Now the word Hanoi fits here. That is a city in Asia's east. So we put an O inside H-A-N-I, and we get Hanoi. So that is one of the answers. But that is not the only answer with these odd numbered letters. We can take the same letters, anagram them, and put an O inside to get another Vietnamese city, which is going to be Hoi An, and that is our two-word answer. There's Hoi and then An. There's a space between them, but that's the same letters as Hanoi. So take this H, N, A, I, anagram them, put an O inside, you get Hoi An. Now this clue actually has 2 more solutions, and they both work exactly the same as these 2. So all of those 4 solutions are going to have a city in Asia's east as the definition. Now for the 2 remaining ones, we're going to look at the even numbered letters. So we're going to get O, K, Y, and T. Take O, K, Y, and T, put an O inside it. After anagramming, you get something that fits here. It's going to be Tokyo, which is a city in Asia's east. And if we take another anagram, put an O inside it, we get the word Kyoto, which is also a city in Asia's east, another Japanese city. So Kyoto and Tokyo are anagrams of each other, and Hanoi and Hoi An are anagrams of each other. So that's 4 solutions for this E here. And still don't know what this 4 down is, so that we can finish up these crosses. But we know both these crosses only have one answer, because we already have 10 extra letters, and all of those extra letters, by the way, were in these 3-letter answers. Not that it matters. So let's look at F then. And here we're going to have only 2-word answers. 20th century entertainer Kennedy has one wing of mansion duplicated in Mexican City. Now, one wing of mansion, the wings of a word are the first and last letter. Once again, we have many many indicators for that in this puzzle, but wing is one of them. So this could be M or N. That is duplicated, so doubled, MM or NN potentially. And that is inside Mexican City. Now, Leon is a Mexican city. And if you put NN here, NN inside it, this wing of the mansion, you would get Lennon, who was actually mentioned in this clue, right? John was the. Okay, sorry about that. Just got interrupted. Where were we? So let's see. We went through this one. And here we had Lennon, right? So I was explaining this one. So NN duplicated, this N duplicated inside Leon, which is a Mexican city. And then John Lennon is a 20th century entertainer. And Kennedy, we have John Kennedy, US president. Here is one answer to this F here. So John Lennon, John is Kennedy, and then one wing of mansion, N, duplicated in Leon, Mexican City. Now, Leon is also the Mexican city for the second reading, and that is also a 20th century entertainer. So John Lennon, obviously a musician, and here we are looking for an actor. And it's now this other side of mansion, M, duplicated in Leon, and that gives Lemon, which fits here, and this Jack Lemmon. And Jack, John Kennedy was also called Jack Kennedy, so that's why Kennedy works for John and Jack. So Jack Lemmon is the other entertainer there that we need. And those are the two answers for this F. And now we still don't have 4, which would allow us to get these, but it's going to be now this G. Now this G has these three solutions, and we can already think about what those might be. So the G is US President Tyler, devoid of entrails, initially unidentified male person. And that can be 1 or 2 words. Now here we have something that looks like John Doe, which is an unidentified male person, and that is 2 words. So we have John here, and John here for some reason. But so John Doe would fit this definition here, unidentified male person. Now, how does the wordplay work? US President Tyler is John Tyler. And then devoid of entrails initially is just the initial letters of these 3 words, DOE. So that's John plus this DOE is John Doe. So that was unidentified male person. And then we have another solution with the definition US president. And that's going to fit here. So Tyler devoid of entrails. We remove the entrails. We remove the insides of Tyler. We're left with T and R. And then initially, now this indicator applies to the following words. So U, M, and P. The initial letters of these words gives Trump. TR plus UMP is Trump. And that is the name of a US president. Now, there's another US president that this same wordplay can give. So it fits here is Truman. So Tyler devoid of entrails, again TR. And this initially now only applies to this unidentified. So initially unidentified is U, and then male person is man. So TR plus U plus man gives Truman, also US president. So that is all the down clues done, and now what's left is doing these 2 acrosses. So 4 down was Trump, and we need it for both of these. So 9 first. So Lara Trump scored second spots or number 2 spots spinning frequently. So Trump here for this 2 down. So number 2 spots of these 2 words Trump scored would be RC. That spinning would give CR, so RC backwards, and then frequently is oft. Now frequently can be an indicator of taking regular letters, but here it's just the word oft. And CR plus oft is Croft, and Lara Croft is a character from the Tomb Raider games. So F here, Croft. And last but not least, we have 18. So it was this one. Maybe Stewart and Trump now. Backed Arab country, having lost one man. And now it's the definition is at the start here. Something exemplified by Stewart and Trump. There's a Mary Trump and Mary Stewart. So it's going to be Mary's. Now, why is this Mary's? Let's just write that in. So backed Arab country, we need the name of an Arab country backwards. It's going to be Syria, Syria, having lost one. So we take the I out, again I for one, as we had earlier. So Syria backwards without the I, plus M for man, and that is all backed. So all of this is reversed, giving us Mary's. So that is how those clues work, and that gives us a finished grid. Now there was one more thing to do in the description, and I'm going to go back to the description now to look at how we're going to find the final answer here. So let's get the description open here. So here we had these extra letters. So find the position of the first instance of that extra letter in the clue and select a letter in the same position when counted from the end of the clue backwards. For example, if the extra letter is a B and the first B in the clue is its third letter, select the third last letter of the same clue. So for example, we had this Joab, so the A was the extra letter. So we count from the start where the first A is, so this is the first letter, and we count the same number from the back to find the letter that we need to highlight. So this one would the first from the back of the clue would be the one to highlight. I'm gonna that's not enough. Maybe I'll just write them like this. Okay, so that gives us a T, so this T here. And what was it? The letters so selected in clue order reveal what the police discovered in the box in Dr. Schrödinger's house. So that's the final answer, what they discovered in the box. So let's see. So Joab gave us this T here. And then we have rice in this 11. So the R is the extra letter. So where's the R? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So seventh letter, and we count 7 from the back. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the 7th is this H here. So H. Then what do we need? Then the next one is this V for Levi, number 12. So count the number of letters to this V here. So 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, and this is 19. So the 19th letter from the back of the clue. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and this would be the 19th, the E. And maybe I should just get rid of the clues that we've looked at, so we're only left with the letters. So THE something. Then the next one is the 13, so W in 13, and that's the first one. So that's this C here. Then we have the R in 17, which is, let's see, the fifth letter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fifth is this one, this A here. So we need an A. Then the next one is this H for John. So 24, can remove this all. 24 would then be the H, so we need 4, 8, 9. This is the 10th letter. So from behind we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So T would be T, the cat, and then the next one from here would be this S for 28. Don't need this. 28, the S. So let's see. 4, 5, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17th. So from behind 17, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17th would be this I here. Take the I. Then we need, that was this S here. Now this S, 29, would be the second letter. So the second letter from behind is this S. So S. Then we need this D for 31. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So the 13th letter, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13 would be O. And then we have this final group, the T for this 36. So we don't need these. And the T for 36. So 5, this is the sixth letter. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sixth would be this K here. So all in all, that says the cat is okay. So that is our final answer, and that is the sort of happy ending to the story that we started with. So, yeah, that is how you solve suspected felicide in the Schrödinger household. Hope you got something out of it, and thanks for watching.